Good morning to all. Myself is Mohammad Ziaullah. Today I will be going to introduce to the subject of power electronics and the instrumentation. Okay. So in my previous class, I have introduced uh, to the syllabus of this power electronics and instrumentation. Okay, or simply we can call it as power electronics and instrumentation engineering. Okay, here there are two things which we come across. One is the power electronics, another is the instrumentation. Okay, now in the first year we have already studied something called as a basic electronics. Okay, so in that particular basic electronics we have gone through the various different modules of basic electronics, right from the module number 1 to module number 5. Okay, so from that module number 1 to module number 5 we have seen the variety of the content in that particular subject. Okay, we have seen what is PN junction diode. Okay, what is half wave rectifier, what is full wave rectifier. Okay, and we have seen what is BJT. Okay, then we have seen the MOSFET N type. Okay, enhancement we have seen. Okay, and other than that we have seen the controlled rectifier, which is called as a silicon controlled rectifier, SCR or thyristor. Okay, and other than this particular topics of the basic electronics, we have also seen the operational amplifiers. Okay, we call it as op amp. Okay, then we have seen the BGTs and some part of the digital electronics. We call it as nothing but your digital systems design. Okay, so one complete subject you have in this particular semester, which is DSD. Okay, which the whole thing we will study about the digital. Okay, but from my concern here is about the electronics, power electronics. Okay, so I will start with the basic introduction to the power electronics. Okay, here you can see there are two terms here. One is power, another is electronics. Okay, so whenever you study about the current or the electricity, okay, we come across some parameters. One is the voltage, okay, which is measured in volts. The second is the current, which is measured in the ampere. And the third very important is the power, which is measured in watts. Okay, so how it is different from your current and how it is different from voltage, and what is actually the power, or sometimes we also call as a potential. Okay, we call it as a potential here. Okay, potential difference. Okay, or simply we call it as a power. Okay, and this power is is more powerful. Okay, because one thing is it is measured in the watts, another thing is the capacity is will be always high. Okay, then the second term here is electronics. Okay, what do you mean by the term called as an electronics? This is the very famous question. I always come across this. Okay, what is electronics? On what we understand from the word called as an electronics. Okay, we hear a lot of things from the electronics. We have an electronic city. There is a in the Bangalore. Okay, so what this company expect, what the industry will expect from we electronics engineers. Okay, is nothing but first we always try to understand what is electronics. Okay, it starts from your atom. Okay, then from atom we come to the chips. We call it as an IC, which is nothing but integrated chips or integrated circuits. Okay, from an atom to the integrated circuits, everything will fall under the category of your electronics parts, right from the design to the manufacturing units. Okay, everything will have the concept of electronics. Okay, but to run any electronic device you require something called as a power. Okay, we always tell in the normal day to day life that we don't there is a no power. There is a cut down in the power. There is shortage of power. Okay, power is gone. What do you mean by this power? Okay, which is nothing but it's a current. It's a current. Okay, and how you define the current? Basic definition of current is nothing but the flow of charge is called as current. Okay, now what is actually the charge here? It is nothing but the electrons, right? I cannot take the protons, I cannot take the nucleus part. Okay, for the movement of charges here, the major important thing is nothing but the electrons. Okay, so these electrons when they move in a conducting medium, okay, then they constitute electric current. Okay, I'm not telling power, they constitute electric current. But what is actually this is power? How, okay, so these power electronics, when you try to study the power electronics here in detail, okay, how it is different from your current and voltage, okay, and what are the various applications, okay, and what is actually the power electronics, why the word power is associated with the electronics, why not the voltage electronics, why not the current electronics, okay. So today we will see how this power electronics are benefiting us in our day to day life or in our today's scenario, okay. So therefore here are the contents. Let us go with one by one. Here contents are, what is the, let us see the definition of the power electronics, how rapid growth is there in the present world or in the present scenario of the power electronics, okay. And then we will have a small comparison here. Then interdisciplinary nature is nothing but is on this power electronics is only concerned with our electronics and communication engineering, or whether it is concerned with the electrical engineering, or whether it is concerned with the mechanical, civil, other branches, okay. So those branches are nothing but interdisciplinary branch, okay. So therefore how this power electronics is interdisciplinary in nature, okay. And how it is contributing into the area of electronics, contribution of the power electronics into the area of communication, into the area of electronics, into the area of mechanical, electrical, civil, automobile, okay. So what are its contributing areas where it will contribute, okay. And what is the general structure of this particular power electronics, then what is the processor, then some history of power electronics, the different types of switches, or the relay you have already studied in the basic electrical, okay. There we see about what is relay, what do you mean by the switch, then how we classify the power electronic devices. There are huge devices are available into the market which are called as a power electronic devices, okay. I'll come to that also. Then power semiconductor switch, okay. We have only studied about the semiconductor in the basic electronics, right? So there we have seen that there will be some band that is called as energy band, that is covalence band, okay. Then conduction band, then energy band. There is a gap. If the conduction takes place, then they fall under the conduction part, right? Then we also study the thyristor varieties. Thyristor is nothing but it's a SCR, silicon controlled rectifier. What are its various varieties are associated with the power electronics. And then we have how the representation, how the thyristors are symbolically represented in this particular topics, okay. And then there are then whether how what are the various power electronic switching devices, okay. What is the scope of power electronics, then power and frequency rating, its characteristics, its advantages, some of the drawbacks of the power electronics, their applications, okay. And what are the major concerns in the power electronics, and which are the topics which are related in the power electronics right in the present scenario, okay. So let us go with the first very basic topic, which is nothing but the definition of the power electronics, okay. So what is power electronics? Here is the power electronics, it is the subject concerning the application of the principle of electronics at a high rated power levels, not at the signal level, okay. That is what it's very clear that all whenever when you study the subject, okay, you take for example the TC, you know what do you mean by the TC, the transformer, whatever you see across the homes which are located at one corner, okay. A very huge amount of power will be generated, huge amount of power will be going to and fro, high tension lines, high electricity, high voltage lines, okay. So those subjects when they are contribute to some kind of application where the concept of electronics is also involved, but the condition is that it should involve the high rated power levels, not in terms of millivolt, not in terms of the microvolt, not in terms of volts also, it should be in terms of very high power, okay. So therefore wherever you find those type of circuits, wherever and where those type of applications related to the electronics, okay, so those things can be related to power electronics, okay. And what is actually here, it is nothing but it is one of the technology of conversion. You need to convert, also control, and also check its condition of electric power, okay, into a desired electrical output. For example, I will just give a very small example here. Let us take an example of the mobile charger. Okay, so your mobile is whatever the power cable or the plug you insert into your mobile phone. The voltage here, first you need to study that there are two different type of current. One is AC and DC, alternating current, and second is nothing but the direct current. These differences you should know. AC and DC. The subject electric, basic electrical, these things are studied. Okay, so one is AC, another is DC. Okay, now if I ask you the very simple question here, that whether my mobile allows the input as AC or DC. Okay, so my mobile phone will not allow the AC current. Okay, if you apply this direct AC to your mobile phone, it will damage, it will completely get damaged. Okay, so therefore you can apply DC, that is nothing but the direct current. Okay, now what is the conversion here? So where you are plugging your the mobile charger into the sockets, right? In home you can see there is a 3-pin sockets. Okay, 5-pin sockets are there. Okay, so where when you plug that mobile charger into that particular socket, okay, then that inside that particular charger there is a circuit, there is a electric circuit you can say, or electronic circuit you can say. There will be some small PCB. Okay, in that particular mobile charger there is a converter. That is why in the slide you can see it is the technology of conversion. Here I need to convert whenever it is necessary. Okay, wherever it is necessary, from AC to DC, because not all the devices work on the AC supply, not all the devices will work on DC supply. Okay, if you take an example of the fan, it will work on AC supply, it cannot work on the DC supply. Okay, why? We don't have a converter there, we just directly apply our AC supply to the fan. Okay, there is a coil inside that. So once the current start moving into that particular conductor coil, the magnetism, theory of magnetism, right, then it goes on. So therefore, so not all devices will work on AC and not all devices will work on the DC. So therefore something we need to do in between those particular, the end part and the application part, or we can call it as a load part, that is called as conversion. Okay, you need to convert that. Okay, so therefore just from AC to DC I have to convert. Okay, and your definition of the one of the very important topic what we have studied in the basic electronics, it is nothing but it's a rectifier. It's a rectifier. So what the rectifier will do, it converts AC to DC. Okay, it converts my AC current to DC current. It is not actually the pure DC, it is nothing but it's a pulsating DC. Okay, now if I want my circuit to be a very pure DC, then I should use some filters, capacitor, filter. These things already I have discussed in the basic electronics, right? So therefore from your mobile charger plug to your mobile phone, there is a in between called as a converter which does this operation, and that mobile charger you can call it as there is an inside a rectifier, small rectifier is placed. And how the rectifier is developed? By using your electronic elements or devices, small devices like your diode. Okay, so therefore here the power electronics, the technology of conversion, then we need to control and also the condition of the electric power into a desired electrical output. So once you do this mechanism, once you use this type of technology, okay, then it can be, then it can contribute or it will contribute into some applications, okay, or where the systems can be renamed as power systems, because not only you are converting, you are also controlling and also trying to see the condition of your desired output, whether the desired output after the conversion is proper or whether it is improper. If it is not proper, then you need to try to adjust, you need to try to control, so that you will get whatever the output you have desired. Okay, so this is how the definition of the power electronics is all about, and what are the what technology will help us to convert your basic system into a power system. Okay, then what is rapid growth? What do you mean by this rapid growth? Okay, what is is there any growth in this power electronics? Yes, the rapid growth of power electronics is happening due to what? Okay, due to advances in semiconductor switches. This is the first rapid growth, because nowadays today we are going with the huge devices, semiconductor devices. Okay, earlier there were vacuum tubes, huge vacuum tubes. You can see there is a difference. The old television was a dome type, but now the television is a flat. Why? Because there is an advancement in the semiconductor devices or semiconductor switches. Okay, and the second, there is a rapid growth in the sense advancement, development. Okay, so advances in microelectronics. Okay, in what? DSP, that is digital signal processing. Just now I have taken a class on DSP. Okay, so I was telling how this other applications, all these signals are benefiting towards the concept of DSP. Then you have VLSI, okay, microprocessors and microcontrollers. So due to all these advancement, due to the development, due to the inventions, due to the innovations in these fields of semiconductor, in the field of DSP, microelectronics, VLSI, microprocessor and the microcontroller, okay, there will be a rapid growth. Already the rapid growth has happened in the field of power electronics because of this. Okay, other than that, the new ideas in the control algorithm. Algorithms are nothing but the steps in C language. Whatever you have studied there, you have seen first you know what do you mean by the algorithms. Okay, programming is different, algorithm is different. Okay, then demand for new applications. If somebody is demanding some application, yes, so I want so and so devices. Okay, then what I will do, I will study its base, its fundamentals, then the technologies, how I can implement into the proposed applications. Okay, so based on my demand, I am trying to grow in the field of power electronics. Then let us compare between the two things here, that is power electronics and signal processing. Okay, so just before I was dealing with the signal processing, that is digital signal processing. Okay, now let us have a comparison here. So first is power electronics. Okay, so in power electronics, I will be focusing more on the power conversion at highest possible efficiency using very small control signals. Okay, so whenever you try to convert any voltage or any signal, okay, from one form to the another form, the efficiency should not get reduced. This is what the motto, this is what the concept or your goal should be. Any conversion of signal from one form to the another form, the efficiency should not be reduced. Okay, even if the efficiency is getting reduced, okay, then it should be in a very small quantity. It should not be in a huge large quantity. Okay, and how to maintain the efficiency is by using some control signals. So with the help of control signals, I can convert from my signal into one form, from one form to the another form with the possible efficiency, acceptable efficiency. Okay, this is the first point in the power electronics. Then the second thing is the semiconductor devices work as a switch. Okay, you just take a small example of a diode. Your diode is a semiconductor, it's a semiconductor. Okay, and what is the basic operation of a diode? The diode, it acts as a switch. Okay, on and off. On is under the forward bias, off is nothing but under the reverse bias. Very simple topic. Okay, so therefore the semiconductor devices works as a switches. The third point here is power handling may range from a few watts to several megawatts. Okay, megawatts, or it can be gigawatts. Okay, it can beyond that also. So therefore in power electronics, you should design, you should handle the devices or the power electronic devices in such a way that even if it is a few volt, okay, due to the conversion, it may go to some several megawatts of power. Okay, so the power handling capability or the capacity in the power electronics also plays the very important role when you go for the application point of view. Okay, now let us go for the signal processing. Okay, so what is actually the signal processing? Whenever you process the signal, okay, or any input data, Okay, that will fall under the concept of signal processing. You just take an example of your normal calculator. Okay, so what we will do, you take example of 2 plus 3. What is 2 plus 3? 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So what you have done, you have given the two inputs, 2 plus and 3. You should add the two numbers. Okay, so once you enter this 2 plus 3 into your calculator, the calculator will give you the results that it is 5. So what is happened there? The two numbers along with the operator is processed, okay, by using some algorithm, okay, by using some operators inside the calculator, and the result is displayed in front of that LCD screen. Okay, so this is called as a processing. The signals are processed. So therefore here the semiconductor devices generally they work as a controlled source in a linear region of their characteristics, because there are huge characteristics are available with respect to different types of power electronic devices. You take example of your diode has also has a character VI characteristics, right? You take a MOSFET, you take a BJT, okay, you take an op amp, you take any electronic devices, all the electronic devices will contribute some or the other characteristics. Okay, so therefore characteristics plays the very important role in signal processing. Okay, if the characteristics are non-linear, then the processor, whatever we do, we may not achieve its the proper results or the desired results here. Okay, then the second point here is the focus is on the information processing with the minimum loss of information. This is the very important point here. Okay, so whenever we process any information, any data, okay, there should not be a huge loss. There should be a minimum loss is acceptable. Okay, for example, if you are adding the two number, that is 2 plus 3, okay, so during the entry and during the processing part, okay, if the information is lost and it is not displaying the proper results, then we will not be considering such type of information processing mechanism. Why? Because the machine or the device is giving us the completely wrong results. Okay, so therefore this type of processing of information is not accepted in signal processing mechanism. It will be only accepted with if it is having a minimum loss. Okay, and the last part here is the power handled will be of the order of few milliwatts to few watts. You can see there is a huge difference. The last point here is the power handled may range from few watts to several megawatts. That is what the huge high power, okay, where the even the human cannot touch. Okay, but here in terms of signal processing, even if it is a very small milliwatt to some few watts of power, still it is acceptable in terms of signal processing. It means that the several megawatts of power will not be handled under the concept of signal processing. It should be as minimum as possible when you go for processing of the signals in this particular topic, or you simply can take any processing units, okay, in terms of in basic electronics. Okay, so this is how we go for the comparison of the power electronics and its signal processing mechanism. Okay, so with this comparison I will conclude my today's topic of this introduction to power electronics. In my next class, I will be dealing with how the power electronics will play a very important role in developing its power electronics applications.